Well, there's your instrument cluster for 1985 BW Vanagon. All stripped down. Getting ready to do the Go Westy repair kit for this cable here. This is the ribbon cable that controls all your lights and stuff, and your speedometer and your tachometer and the clock on your bus. So they fail, and there is no actual OEM replacement. So there is a kit. Go Westy supplies it. And this is the kit here. And it comes with cable, lights, wires, fasteners, some sort, lights, new control board, tack, and various knickknacks, as well as instructions. We put it all together. Okay. Assembly of the main PCB. There's the main PCB. This step is very important. First, determine if you have the stock dynamic oil pressure system. 9-pin plug in the back of the speedometer. If you do not, which I do not, have a dynamic oil pressure warning system, you will need to remove the protective film from the dip switch and move it to the up, on, or disable dynamic oil position. That would be this one right here. Okay, there it is, right there. Right there. I had to move that from there to there. Okay, the indicator LEDs. They will need to be cut to the appropriate lengths before installation. Find the green and blue LEDs. Find a felt tip marker and color the longer LED leg. Now locate the longer of the two white spacers included in the kit. The blue and the green LED legs will need to be cut to the length of this spacer. Insert the LED into the spacer and cut the blue and green LED legs with length of the spacer. Now insert the LEDs into the correct locations on the main circuit board. The green LED will be placed in the sockets labeled turn, and the blue LED will be placed in the socket labeled high. Insert the leg that you marked with the felt tip marker into the socket marked with the plus symbol. This ensures the LED is inserted in the correct orientation. Okay, here they are. These are the two spacers that they give us, one shorter, one longer. So we're going to take the longer of the two, slide that in there, cut off the excess. Okay. Now repeat the same procedure using the shorter of the two white spacers included in the kit to cut the red LEDs in the appropriate length. Note that this comes with an extra set of LEDs, red LEDs. So there's 3 of them. So basically we're replacing these. Here, don't know if you can read this, but you got your LX your glow, your oil, your voltage, turn, your high. Insert the leg that you marked with the felt tip marker in the socket that was marked with the X symbol. This ensures the LEDs are inserted in the correct orientation. So this is the green, which will go into the turn. You want to make sure the colored goes to the plus. There you have it. There's that portion. Install the voltage regulator with the included hardware. Match machine screw with a large spacer heatsink as shown in the diagram below. Now set the main PCB assembly aside. We will come back to that later. So first we need to install this. This goes in here. Like so. And then there is a screw. And a heatsink. Screw it in. Okay. Now, we'll put this aside and we will come back to this later. Just as a little bonus, I just took the tachometer needle off my tack. The reason being is, again, I've converted my Vanagon into a Subaru motor, so I'm going to put this over the tachometer so I can get an accurate reading on the engine RPMs. This comes from small cars. From what it looks like, all of this is just basically a sticker, and it will go right over where the tack is. So, get it in. Oh. There. Now, of course, this is just a sticker. It doesn't make it all of a sudden tack the correct way. In order to do that, you have to adjust this little hole right here. I don't know how well you can see it, but this little hole right here, you get a little baby screwdriver while the engine's running, and you get it to tack the correct way. This is the tachometer portion. This will go here. If you have a analog clock, your kit would be different. Okay. This piece right here. Find the tachometer PCB unit pictured to the right. Place the tachometer PCB on the back of the tachometer as shown. 4 female sockets. 4 female sockets. Must line up with the mole pins of the tachometer. Now there's 3 pins. 1, 2, 3 pins down in here that this ribbon cable, this one little tiny thing here, was plugged into. Now this is taking place of it. This has to be put in over the holes. Okay. Okay, now locate your tachometer harness that is included in your kit. Picture to the right. Here is the harness they're talking about. Plug one side, doesn't matter which, into the receptacle of the tachometer PCB unit, which will install the other side of this harness when we install the main PCB board in a later step. So this goes in here, and that particular step is none until we plug it in later. Find the digital PCB unit pictured on the right. This is the digital PCB unit. Place the digital clock PCB on the back of the digital clock as shown. You've got two little pins right here. Those go into those little clips. Locate the digital clock harness included in your kit. Picture to the right. Install the illumination LED sockets into the hole on the back of the digital clock by twisting it 90 degrees. The 2-wire connector has its harness will plug. The 2-wire connector on this harness will plug into the receptacle at the base of the digital clock PCB. We will install the other side of this harness when we install the main PCB board later. So here's that LED light. So this goes in here and then turned this. In order to block the illumination LED light from glowing behind the indicator LEDs, we will need to seal up the indicator LED channels first. Using a pair of scissors, slit the rubber tubing supplied with the kit down its entire length. Cut sections of the tubing and use them to seal off the indicator LED channels as shown in the diagram. I think this will be a little bit more tighter. What I'm doing is just basically measuring the distance between these two and then pulling these back out and put them back in. That way you don't have that slit. Now it's time to install the main PCB that we assembled in steps 1 through 4. This board will be installed on the back of the cluster as shown. The small blue high beam indicator filter that is present in the cluster will have to be removed before installation to allow the new LED to fit. In here, I'll show you your high beam. Right there, your high beam. There's actually basically one of these stuck in there because on the ribbon cable itself there wasn't an LED light, it's just a white clear light. So you got to remove that. You got to do that by taking this screw here off, and then this piece can come off. And then if you look, there's one that still has a plug in it here. If you look at the very bottom, you'll see that there's one still has a little filter plug in it. The other ones are clear through now. Okay, now this. It's just like that. And then Screw down thusly. Now install the illumination LED harness included in this kit. That will be this. We'll do it here. Install the illumination LED sockets to the holes on the top of the cluster. By twisting them in a 90 degree. There are several small O-rings included in this kit. The LED connectors twist loosely onto the cluster sockets. Place the O-rings around the connector to tighten the fit. And then they tighten down better. Okay. And then this plugs in right here. The gauge harness will need to be installed next. Locate the gauge harness pictured to the right and installed according to the diagram below. Now, I'm going to show you this diagram. There's the diagram there. Basically shows where each one of these connectors are supposed to go. And they go as such. Purple and black. White. There's two of them. Brown. And yellow and red. So, purple, white, brown, yellow, and red. And those plug in right here. In there. This is your clock. Clock will plug in here. Here's your tach plug. And after that, you've got this piece here, which plugs in here to your bottom, like that, and then this will plug into your instrument cluster, plug in there, and then you should be able to put it all back in and have it go. Everything should work fine. If you have an 85 or 83 through 85, the connector in the back, they give you instructions. Either A, you can cut the piece off and just splice everything all together, or they give you what the connector should look like or does look like, and the various pins outs that you need to correct it to in order for this to work. This looks a lot more rugged and solid than this. So I'm quite pleased. Interested in how it works. But there you have it. I hope this helps. Okay, guys, have a great day.